Welcome to TCube Get Classes. Myself, Dr. Raji Malik. Today is the third lecture of the digital communication. In the second lecture, as you saw on the screen, we derived the relation between the spectrum of the original signal and the spectrum of the sample signal for a period of the frequency, that is minus W hertz to W hertz. Here W is the bandwidth of the original signal. So we derive the relation between the spectrum of the original signal and the spectrum of the sample signal for a particular period of the signal. Now, from this equation, we conclude that the Fourier transform of the original signal is completely specified by the sample value of the signal Gt. If we know the sample value of the signal, we can drive the expression for Fourier transform of the signal Gt by this equation. And all of we know that the Fourier transform of the signal Gt, Fourier transform of signal Gt is Gf, and there is a relation between the signal Gt and the Fourier transform Gf by a relation that is known as a inverse Fourier transform. So by taking the inverse Fourier transform of this equation, we can get the our original signal Gt. It means that we can we can get our original signal Gt from Fourier transform by taking the inverse Fourier transform of this equation. And Gt is related to the sequence g of n divided by 2 omega. So our original signal is itself determined by the sample values. From by taking the inverse Fourier transform, we can determine our original signal from the sample value g of n divided by 2 omega, for the value of n is ranges from minus infinity to infinity. So we can conclude that the sample has all the information contained in Gt. This is main conclusion from this equation, that the sample has all the information that is contained in Gt. Next, we consider the problem of reconstructing the original signal Gt from the Fourier transform Gf. Next, we consider the problem of next we consider the problem of reconstructing the signal Gt. Problem of reconstructing the signal Gt from Gf, and it is performed it is performed it is performed by inverse Fourier transform formula. All of we know that there is a relation between Fourier transform and inverse Fourier transform. Gt is minus infinity to infinity g of f e or j 2 pi f t df. This is inverse Fourier formula. Now we have value of gf. In the previous equation, we calculated the Fourier transform of this is gf. Now we put this equation when now we put this value into the inverse Fourier transform formula. As all of we know that gf is equal to 1 by 2 w summation n minus infinity to infinity g of n divided by 2w e to the power minus j n pi f divided by w. Now we put this gf from here to here. Gt now gt is written as minus infinity to infinity 1 by twice of w and is ranges from minus infinity to infinity g of n divided by 2w e to the power minus j n pi f divided by w e to the power minus sorry e to the power j 2 pi f t df. Their integration is with respect to df. As all of we know that the original signal is strictly band limited signal. So GF is defined for interval minus W is less than F and W. So limit of this integration is changes because our original signal is strictly band limited and it ranges from minus W hertz to W hertz. So we change the integration limit and it became minus W hertz to W 1 by twice of W and it ranges from minus infinity to infinity g of n divided by twice of W into e to the power. Here we take the modification of this part. We take e to the power j, e to the power j, we modify this part e to the power j 2 pi f into this became n divided by twice of W. This is negative sign and divided by plus T into df. Now our equation became like this. Our integration is with respect to f or frequency. Now we integrate this part come out to be equation. This is come out from this equation and this is for our integration purpose. Now we solve this integration. Gt became 1 by twice of W n minus infinity to infinity g of n divided by twice of W. Integration ranges from minus W to W e to the power J 2 pi f t minus n divided by twice of w. So df. We have to integrate this part. So all of we can integrate the exponential function. This come out to be 1 by twice of w n minus infinity to infinity g of n divided by twice of w. This come out to be e to power e to power j 2 pi f t minus n divided by twice of w and divided by, this is the integration, simple integration, 2j 2 pi t minus n divided by twice of w, because integration is with respect to frequency. So this is the integration of the this part. You have to integrate. Now you we put the limit of this integration, and this equation come out to be this equation come out to be j 2 pi w t minus n divided by 2w and minus e to the power minus j 2 pi w t minus n divided by 2w and divided by the bracket close 2j pi t minus n divided by twice of w. Now we simplify this equation again, and this come out to be 1 by twice of w n minus infinity to infinity, this is out of bracket g of n divided by twice of w into, this is come out to be e to the power j into 2 pi omega t, sorry, this is frequency wt minus n pi, this is 2 pi wt, we have only simplified e minus j 2 pi wt, this is bracket minus n pi. 2j is outside, we uh, we take the LCM, it became pi t into 2w minus n pi divided by 2w. Okay, this is only simplification of this equation, and after this equation, now we this 2 pi come out to be numerator part and it cancel. 2w is cancelled with this 2w because it come out to be numerator and it is in denominator. Now we get the equation gt is come out to be n minus infinity to infinity g of n divided by twice of w e to the power j n y, this is 2 pi wt minus n pi minus e to the power minus j 2 pi wt minus n pi divided by 2j into 2 pi wt minus n pi. This is the simplification of the above equation, and this became the formula of sine function. This is sine e की power j theta minus e की power j x minus e minus jx divided by 2j is equal to sine x. This became the sine function. So we can write in place of this function, the sine function. So our simplified equation became n minus infinity to infinity g of n divided by twice of w, and this equation became sine of 2w 2 pi wt minus n pi divided by 2 pi wt minus n pi. This became our GT signal in terms of sample values. Now this became sinc function. This is equivalent to the sinc function. We take the pi outside, n is minus infinity to infinity, g of n divided by twice of w. This is sine pi of w omega t minus n pi divided by n divided by pi is common, 2wt minus n. This became sinc function. This is became sinc function. Sine, for example, sine cx is equal to sine pi x divided by pi x. This is the sinc function. For example, this is for example. In same way, we can write in place of this function a sinc function. This became, so gt became n minus infinity to infinity g of n divided by twice of w into sine of c wt 2wt minus n divided by, so this function became equivalent to sinc function sine c 2wt minus n. Okay, this whole function became a sinc function, and this is also known as a interpolation function. Interpolation function. Interpolation function means to approximate something, to calculate or approximate something. This is the interpolation function. So we can conclude that our original signal can be reconstructed from the samples value. This is the samples value by multiplying the each sample value to the interpolation function, and this is delay version of the interpolation function. We multiply the each sample value to the delay version of the interpolation function. This is the sine function is the interpolation function for reconstructing the original signal GT. Now we define it theoretically. This is the equation number. From this equation, for example, this is 7 equation. From this equation, yeah, this is the formula to reconstruct the original signal. This equation provide a formula. This equation provide a formula. Provide a formula to reconstruct the. This equation provide a formula to reconstruct the original signal GT. Original signal GT from the sample value. From the sample value values G of n divided by twice of W by using by with yeah by using a function by using a function that is known as a interpolation function by using a function that is known as interpolation function. So C function is known as a interpolation function. Sin C 2 pi W sin C 2 WT minus n is the interpolation function. This is the interpolation function. In this equation, in this equation, in this is the conclusion. Whole is the conclusion of this conclusion from this equation. In this equation, each sample, each sample, each sample value is multiplied with the is multiplied with the delay version of the interpolation function. With the interpolation function, with the interpolation function, and all resulting waveform are added because there is a solution in starting part and all resulting waveform are added. All waveform are added to get the to obtain the original are added to obtain the original signal GT. And the to obtain the original signal GT. To obtain the original signal GT. So by using this equation, we can obtain the original signal. By using this equation, each sample is multiplied with the delay version. Sorry, there is a delay version of the interpolation function. Delayed version of the because there is a n is the delay. If we shift the signal in right side, it means delay. Okay. Because there is a minus n, it means it is the delayed version of the interpolation function. This is the delayed version of the interpolation function. Once again, I conclude that by using this equation, each sample value is multiplied with the delayed version of the interpolation function and all the resulting waveform are added to obtain the original signal GT. So we can obtain our original signal GT from the sample value by using a interpolation function. As you show in the previous equation, we can obtain the original signal GT. This is original signal GT from the sample value by multiplying the each sample value to the interpolation function, that is the delay version. When n changes from minus infinity to infinity, we put here value of the n. It means this interpolation function is the delay version of the interpolation function. So each sample value is multiplied with the delayed version of the interpolation function, and all the resulting waveform are added. Summation means all the resulting waveform are added, and we obtain the our original signal GT from the sequence of sample values. This is the reconstruction of the our original signal from the sampled value. We reconstruct the our original signal from the sampled value. It means that we can reconstruct the our original signal back from the sampled value by using a interpolation function. Next, we define the sampling theorem. On the basis of all previous process, we define the sampling theorem. From the previous discussion, we define the sampling theorem. Sampling theorem is described by 2 points. First, a band limited signal. First is a band limited signal. A band limited signal GT having finite energy with finite energy is completely specified by the is completely specified the specified by the sample values. Sample values completely specified by the sample value, which are sampled at a rate at a times which are sampled which are sampled at a period of ts second. ts second. So this is the sampling theorem. A band limited signal having finite energy is completely specified by the sample values, which are sampled at a period of ts second. It means sampled are ts second apart. So we can completely describe a signal GT by its sample. First we convert the signal in GT into the sampled value. Next point is next is one another point for the sampling theorem. A band limited signal, a band limited signal GT, a band limited signal GT finite energy, with finite energy, with finite energy is completely required from the sample values from the sample values by using the by using sampling rate by using sampling rate is equal to by using sampling rate, that is Fs is twice of W. So we can completely record the signal Gt which is finite energy, which has finite energy from the sample value when we put the sampling rate is equal to twice of W. This is the sampling theorem. First point say about that we can completely specify the original signal Gt with the sample value. When we sample the signal, when we uniformly sample the signal which are Ts second apart. Next, we can record our original signal back when we can record the original signal Gt from the sample value by putting the sampling rate is equal to twice of W. This is the sampling theorem. In next lecture, we discuss when we sampled the signal at a rate that is Nyquist rate. This is also known as a Nyquist rate. Fs when sampling rate is also when Fs is twice of when Fs is when sampling rate is twice of maximum frequency of the original signal. This is also known as a Nyquist rate. And reciprocal of the Nyquist rate is Nyquist interval. This is also known as a Nyquist interval. In next lecture, we will show we will see that when we sample the signal at a Nyquist rate, how the distortion occurs. When we sample the signal at a Nyquist rate, then next process is we record the original signal back. When we put the sampling rate is twice of maximum frequency of the original signal. Then how the distortion occur when we put the sampling rate is when we sample the signal at a sampling rate, a Nyquist rate. Then how the distortion occur in the receiver side. In next lecture we discuss about the distortion. So I will stop here.